Hey there, Gene Galin with the Chatham Journal, the Chatham Chat List. I'm here with Myles Friedman in the Circle City Bookstore and Music Store here in downtown Pittsboro. Myles, how did this all come about?
I've lived in Chatham County for 25 years, and in the whole time there was never a bookstore here. It irritated me for years and years, and I finally decided that it'd be something that maybe I could take care of. I started a year and a half ago organizing to open the store. It took me 3 months to acquire enough books and records to have a store, and then I opened last October.
Why books and records?
Well, the records are a hedge against the book market not being good enough. It's hard to predict in a small town whether there are enough readers to support a bookstore, and in the event that the books couldn't carry a store, I thought it was important to have another revenue source. It's also something that I know about. I have a good ear and a good eye for music, and it just made sense. I don't devote more than about 10% of the store to music, but it's important. And as it turns out, the Chatham County and Pittsboro is good enough to support a bookstore. I probably could have done fine with just books, but the records and the CDs really help, and it brings in a group of customers who might not come to a bookstore, and they come and then they end up maybe buying a book. So I think it's a good combination, a good match.
What are your biggest sellers in books and in music?
Well, let's start with music first. The best-selling music by far are the Beatles. I sell a lot of jazz and a lot of classic rock, but nothing compares to the rapidity with which Beatles records leave the store.
Now, these vinyl records?
Yes.
Okay.
Vinyl records or CDs, but it's vinyl records that people are really collecting. I've learned that there are many record collectors now who are under 30 years old who are not going back to vinyl but are discovering it for the first time and can't understand why their parents gave up on records and are trying to build record collections. And those customers buy a variety of music, but the Beatles are by far the most popular selling record or group. I sell a lot of jazz. Blues sells really well. Bluegrass sells great in this store. As far as books go, popular current fiction is the best-selling item. I do really well with history, biographies. There's a strong clientele for mysteries, suspense, thrillers. I spend a lot of time finding science fiction books, and there are a lot of people, especially young people, who are interested in fantasy and science fiction. And the way that a store like this can succeed is by having a little bit of everything, so that any type of person who comes in can find something that they're looking for and they're interested in. And then I should also say I've got a lot of old, valuable first edition books that you're not going to find easily, and if you're a book collector, you'll be able to find interesting and unusual things here.
Well, if you don't mind, let's do a quick walkthrough here so people get an idea what you have here. You come in through the main door. You're behind the counter. You got your music playing. We turned it down for this interview, and then back in here is what?
Well, here is the music room. The record rack here, CDs on the wall, and over here. This room also has a lot of books in it, as you can see. Mostly they're arts-related books. This is the John Coltrane room.
Okay.
All the rooms are named in honor of North Carolina people who excelled in something.
Well, see, I don't think this was planned, but there we go. The best of John Coltrane right there.
There it is. Yeah, jazz is really popular, and I somehow managed to find a lot of jazz records.
Great. And I go into there, is that the next room? And it says more books, so.
Yeah, well, back here, this is the Doris Betts room. In this room, I've got the mysteries, suspense, thrillers, science fiction, horror, fantasy over here, kids' books under the window. I have a lot of customers for kids' books.
I was going to say, you got just about every nook and cranny around here filled with music or literature.
That's the idea, yeah. And I'll take you next into the John Hope Franklin room. This is history. History here, biographies, Civil War, current affairs, the sciences, memoirs. Go around here, it's philosophy and religion. They're together. I've got young adult books. I put the young adult books beside the philosophy and the religion just to give them a little help.
Got to exercise that brain.
That's the idea. Women's studies, theater, books about writers. And then in here, Thomas Wolfe room, this is all fiction, contemporary and classic fiction with poetry on this cart, and everything in this room is literature.
Now, the signature that people remember about your bookstore and music store is your mural outside. How did that come about?
Well, I decided to open this store partly because I found a building with a large wall that I could use to advertise the store. I don't think I would have opened the store in another downtown location because I was so worried that people just wouldn't know that the store was here. So from the day I decided to rent this building, I knew that wall was going to be a mural, and it was going to have my bookshelf, my bookshelf from home, more or less. I first talked to Michael Brown, who is the mural artist from Chapel Hill, who's done all the murals in Chapel Hill, and we came up with a plan for doing this mural. I've known Michael for a long time, and he was excited about the idea. He was really busy, though, and so the plan was he taught my daughter and her friend Emily, my daughter's Bailey, taught them how to do the mural.
So the two of them did the mural?
Two of them did the painting. Michael came out and spent an 8-hour day with them, showing them how to prepare the wall, how to understand the way the paint works on concrete, and he came out several times during the process and helped them and gave them instruction and pointers, but basically the two girls did the mural, 90% of it, by themselves over about a 2-month period. They took my list of books and some of my designs for the books, but some of them they came up with themselves, and that's how it happened.
So folks, you definitely got to come down here. We went through all the rooms, we took a look at all the books out here. Myles told us how he's got things arranged, found out his daughter Bailey's the one who painted the mural out there with a friend with Michael's help. And what are your hours here?
Weekdays are 11 to 7, Saturday is 10 to 7, and Sunday noon to 5.
All right, and do you also have a website?
I don't have a website. I have a Facebook page where people communicate with the store and where I promote various things, but
well, if we're on Facebook, what should we...
Circle City Books.
Okay, Circle City Books on Facebook. That's where you put out all your information as to what's going on.
That's exactly right.
Anything else we need to finish up with here, Myles?
I'm really happy you came by today. I hope you find a book while you're here. If you can't find one, I'll give you a recommendation. I give recommendations all day long to people. It's one of the things I enjoy the most about being in the store. So I hope hope to be able to help you today, and I hope anybody watching this comes by and asks for some help then.
All right, Myles, thank you so much. Folks, come down, see Circle City Books and Music Store. Look for Myles' he doesn't have a website, but look for him at Facebook. And Myles, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.